Alina,
Yeah.
Alina, someone died and you're just saying everyone is big sad boy hours.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hold on a second. Oh no.
This is my
Wait.
face.
Hold on a second.
No. I will hold
I
no
said,
seconds.
hold on a second.
I will hold no seconds.
You can't hold any seconds. You have no hands.
Oh shit, you're right. Welcome back to Wawwa Tuesdays.
Rami.
Ratatouille. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Your name.
Your.
Jesus.
I'm
Christ.
Ariana Grande.
Oh my god, no, you're not.
Damn.
Please stop. Stop.
Penny
Stop.
is Pennyana Grande. Pennyana Grande.
No.
Demote. Shalom. She needs to stop.
The creepy clown goes. The clown of all my dreams.
The clown of all of my dreams. Penny, the Panatui. The clown of all my dreams.
Oh, Penny.
I praise you, oh Panatui. May the world remember your name. Anyway, welcome back to another We Are Who We Are Tuesday. Hello. Today, we're going to be doing another video in the world famous series.
Tuesday.
No, but it's going to be posted on a Tuesday, you fool.
Oh.
So, welcome back to another video in the world famous, critically acclaimed series explaining the entire plot of Blank to my friend. We've done 2 of these prior. We've done It Chapter 2 and The Goldfinch. And basically what entails is that I explain the entire plot of a thing that Chloe hasn't seen. And that's about it. That's the whole premise. She has not seen We Are Who We Are. She has seen the first episode of We Are Who We Are.
Correction. I've seen the first episode.
She's seen the first episode of We Are Who We Are. There are 8 episodes. And I have a trusty dry erase board with me today to assist in storytelling. So You're going to see my skills today. We're going to explain the entire plot of We Are Who We Are. So get some snacks, get comfy, and let's go on a journey together today.
Okay.
We're in Italy. We're in Italy. So we're in Italy.
How many times did we're in Italy?
We're in Italy. So, we open up with our main character, Frasier. So we have one of our main characters here. His name is Frasier, okay?
Stop. Am I in school again? What the hell?
This is Frasier. Frasier is coming.
Why is he bald?
Fine, I'll give him some hair.
Why does he look like an egg?
Listen, anyway, he's coming
Why
to Italy.
His head lopsided?
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about
his
that.
Head, it looks like his head deflated in.
Yes. Okay, so he comes to Italy with his mom. I can't spell, what the fuck? Sarah. So Sarah is the new commander at this military base in Italy. She is married to this woman named Maggie, who has been around Frasier's whole life but isn't considered his mom. We're gonna get into that. So they stroll up. Frasier has, off the bat, alcohol issues, okay? This boy is, like, drinking vodka in the airport. It's very weird. So they get picked up to go to the military base.
What?
Okay. No, see, my point here was just to make the family tree. I'm not doing drawings. This is not Pictionary.
I'm a visual learner.
Okay, so they get picked up in a car, by this woman.
Oh my god, that's not a cop.
By this woman named Jenny. Jenny! Yay! And Jenny is also her husband, Richard, Also works at the military base. She comes to pick them up. They're making small talk, whatever. She shows them into their house. It's a fun time. What happens after this? This is literally the first episode and I already don't remember what happens.
I'm relying on you.
Yeah, okay, so Frasier.
And you don't even know what you're teaching.
Yeah, so this guy, Frasier, remember that? So he goes to the school. And this car needs to go. She's taking up space. We find out some very important information on the car ride, like that Frasier is obsessed with zodiac signs, and he is prejudging Jenny's children due to their zodiac signs. So they have 2 children. Caitlin. We love Caitlin. This is Caitlin. That's Caitlin. And this is Danny.
What the heck? Why is...
So, Caitlin is an Aries, and Danny is a Libra. So, Frasier goes to the school. Boop, 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 walks to the school, and he sees Caitlin in a classroom reading a poem, and he's like, wow, and takes a creepy picture of her, and then runs away. Then school lets out. And he sees Caitlin again walking outside, and she is walking with her friend Brittany, my girl. Yes, queen. Okay, so she's with her friend Brittany, and then they go to this little food truck, and Frasier's being a little creep, just kind of lurking in the background and following them around, and then he tries to go get alcohol from this food truck when the others go to the bus, and then Brittany's like, hey, you following us? And he's like, no, and she's like, cool. And they go to the grocery store, and they talk about groceries, and then they get on the bus, and they go to the beach. We're off to a great start.
They go to the grocery store and talk about groceries.
Yep, and then they go to the beach. This is a beach. So there we have an abundance of characters. Hold on. We need to erase all of this because there's now lots of things going on. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, beautiful artwork. Okay, so here at the beach, we have... Okay, so this is Craig. This is Craig. That's his hair. He is the older... Wait, I need to write their names. This is Craig. He is the older brother to Sam. This is Sam. He's also best friends with Danny, who, if you remember from our previous learnings, he is Caitlin's brother. So there's Caitlin.
Brother.
So yes. Then Caitlin is dating Sam. Wow. Also here at the beach is Brittany again. And Enrico. And Enrico is like Brittany's boy toy kind of thing. And then there's Frasier. Frasier has come with them to the beach. And then Caitlin walks up and Frasier's all like, ooh, she's cool. Yeah. And then they all go swimming. Except Frasier, who is sitting by the rocks, and they make fun of him because he's wearing a t-shirt at the beach. So he leaves. Then
he's not half naked.
It's literally. Okay, so then Frasier's just kind of walking around, and he strolls up to this woman's house and gets wine from her and drinks a bunch of wine and listens to music. And then it's nighttime, and he goes and walks on a bridge and almost falls off the bridge like a fool. And then I forgot to mention this really important plot point earlier. Who knew? So when he's at the house, he, like, sends a message to his friend Mark over the phone. So he has this friend named Mark at home. We don't know what this deal is with Mark. And he calls him again when he's at this dock thing, and he's like, bro, I miss you. And then a car strolls up. Boop, 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 boop. Car! And inside the car is Maggie, his mother's wife. because he called her to come pick him up because he is drunk. Maggie works she's like a medic for the military, so she works at the clinic, and she brings him to the clinic, and she fixes him up, and he's like, yo, my mom sucks, I hate my mom, you're nice, not like my mom. And then they get home, and it's later that evening, and Frasier, this is gonna take so long, Frasier and Sarah, his mother, are in the kitchen, and she is cutting beef in the kitchen to give him, and then he slaps her because she's not cutting it to his liking. So he, like, hits her, and then she's like, wait, and then they get in a big fight, and he's like, wah, 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 I hate it here, I want to go back to New York, I miss Mark, blah, 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 and cries and runs away. So
Wait.
What?
Wait. I got a Chloe question.
Yes.
And a question.
Yes.
So she's cutting the beef.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Wait, is she making it for dinner?
Yeah. Well, no, it's like the middle of the night. It's like a midnight snack. Don't worry about it.
Okay, is she a vampire? Because that's the only one.
Probably, to be honest.
He slaps her because he's not cutting the beef.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yes.
Is he, like, abusive to his mother?
Basically. He does not like her. They have a really bad relationship. But she's, like, really strange and, like, doesn't punish him for slapping her across the face. Anyway. So they're at an they're at, like, an assembly thing. Like, her little... This is not Sarah. So they had an assembly thing to, like, welcome her as the new commander. This is Frasier. And he sees this guy, this military guy. And he's like, oh my god, he's a cutie.
Oh wait, Frasier's gay?
Yes. Later, he's at his, okay, so their houses. So Frasier and Caitlin's houses are right next door to each other. And so Frasier is standing here in the window. And Caitlin is leaving. But Caitlin is dressed like a boy. So she's wearing her dad's clothes, and she has, like, her hair, like, tucked up into a hat and whatever. And so he follows her. He gets on his little bike and follows her.
Is he, like, a stalker?
Yes, he's absolutely. So he follows her. And he follows... Okay, I'm not going to be able to do this whole drawing reference thing for this whole thing. This is taking so long. So then he follows her to this little cafe place, and Caitlin is, like, flirting with this girl, and she tells this girl that her name is Harper. And so Frasier, like, confronts her, and he's like, yo, what are you doing? And then later, they're at the beach again, and Frasier's like, so what should I call you? And the episode's over. That's the pilot. She done. Wow. You've seen that episode, but we're not going to worry about that.
Highlight of episode 1.
Yes.
Important things to take away. They move to a new place.
Yes.
Frasier is an alcoholic.
Yes.
And abusive to his mother.
Yes.
Frasier is gay, question mark?
Yes.
So, and then there's, oh God, I know Sam and Danny and Caitlin. What's the other guy?
Craig.
And Craig and Sam are brothers, and Danny and Caitlin are siblings. And
yes,
Danny is best friends with Craig, and Caitlin is dating Sam.
Correct! You did it.
Oh my God!
You passed.
And then also Frasier likes to stalk people.
Yes.
Only thing I remember from the pilot is that Frasier dresses like a New Yorker.
Yes, because he's from New York. Oh, yeah, and he has very, very particular tastes. He's a fashion boy. He has very expensive clothes, and he's very pretentious about it. Okay, I think that's everything. I think that's everybody. Wait. So, Maggie and Sarah, Frasier's moms, Richard and Jenny, Kate and Danny's parents. Sam and Craig are brothers. Oh, yeah, Sam is dating Kate. Brittany's all by her lonesome over here. Enrico, and then I also forgot to mention Val, but Val's not important right now, but that's his sister. Okay, episode 2. So episode 2 episode 1 was like a Frasier episode. So episode 2 is like a Caitlyn-centric episode. So we see a lot of the same stuff, like the same day, but like from Caitlyn's perspective. So like opens up, she's like delivering water or something with her dad. They're like on a boat, they're like delivering water, and she like brings it to this old lady's house, and there's this man, and he mistakes her for a boy. She has a really good relationship with her dad. They're like banting, they're like having a good time, whatever. Later that day, when they're at the beach, Caitlyn gets her period. Oh no. Oh dear.
Whoa, 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 whoa. She was swimming.
Yes.
But she got her period.
Yeah, like when she like got out of the water. She was like, oh shit.
Oh!
Yeah. So now like she's feeling all this like gender dysphoria. And then like later she's at this like sports event with her dad. And Trump is in the background. This takes place in like 2016, like during the first election. So it's like they're streaming the news and whatever. And so she's like talking to her dad. Her dad's asking her about Sam, and he's like, how's Sam? And she's like, I don't know. I get bored, which like mood. And then she's like, oh yeah, I got my period. And he's like, did you tell your mom? And she's like, no. And that's about it. And then other important thing, the next day, Caitlyn picks up a package from the mailing postal place to bring to her dad, and she gives it to her dad, and he's like, oh yay, it's the package, and guess what it is? It's Trump hats. It's Make America Great Again hats, because her dad is a Trump supporter. And this is an important piece of information. And we are not happy about it. We were all rooting for you. And you did this to us. And that's episode 2. So, episode 3. Now, Caitlyn and Frasier are pals. They're friends. A little bit of time has passed, a couple weeks or so. They're hanging out in her dad's boat in the ocean or whatever. And then she's like interrogating Frasier, and she's like, yo, have you ever kissed anyone? He's like, no. And she's like, what about your friend Mark? What? And he's like, no, it wasn't like that. And she's like, okay, whatever.
Okay.
Okay. They're hanging out, and Brittany is like upset because she's like, yo, you haven't been hanging out with us. You're hanging out with new boy. Y'all dating or something? Caitlyn's like, nah. Wow, so Caitlyn's dad yells at her because the boat is a mess from, like, when she and Frasier were on the boat, so, like, tension. Ooh, her dad's mad. And then there's, like, this festival going on in Chioggia. So, like, there's this festival thing. They're all going to the festival. So Jenny, which is Richard's wife, so Caitlyn and Danny's mother, she's, like, she's a total housewife. So, like, she, like, makes this pie for her husband to, like, bring to her husband because her husband's in the parade because he's in the military or whatever. And she runs into Maggie, who is Sarah's wife, so Frasier's mom, not mom. And she's like, oh, you should come to the festival. And they're like, okay. And so they go to the festival, and they're, like, walking around town, and there's some clear sexual tension here. There are vibes here between Maggie and Jenny, and we're like, ooh. So they're chatting it up. Meanwhile, Frasier and Caitlyn are hanging out at the festival.
Question?
Yes.
Wait, the two moms, per se?
Yes. So Maggie and Jenny. These two. Boop, boop.
They like each other?
Yeah, it seems like it at this point. Because here's the thing, right? So Sarah and Richard are not too great. And we're gonna get to that. The homies are hanging out. So Brittany, Enrico, Danny, Sam, Craig, all the homies. And they're all mad at Caitlyn because Caitlyn is hanging out with Frasier. And so they, like, confront them, and Danny gets all mad, Caitlyn's brother, and he, like, pushes him. And he's like, grr. And so, like, they get in this fight. And so then, like, Caitlyn and Frasier leave. And Caitlyn's all like, they think we're weird. They think we're dating. And then she, like, says something about, like, Frasier being gay because, like, he likes Jonathan, which is the military guy. And he's like, I'm not gay just because my moms are gay. Like, I don't have to be gay. And she's like, yeah, but you also don't have to be not gay either. Which is, like, iconic. We love to see it. And he's like,
I got dinner. Press play.
Okay. They, like, make this little bet as a joke where they're like, haha, we're never gonna kiss. And that's that. Maggie and Jenny have been hanging out, and Jenny's like, oh shit, we're late for the thing that my husband's in. So they go, and her husband's, like, competing in this tug-of-war tournament thing, and his team loses, and he's all angry about it because he's a big macho man. And so then she, like, gives him his pie, and he's like, oh, sorry, I'm going out to get pizza with the boys. And so we're all like, she made this whole ass pie for you, and you're like, nah. And then Maggie's all like, ooh. So then they go and eat then Maggie and Jenny go and eat the pie by themselves because fuck Richard, because he's a Trump supporter and he's a bitch.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, Frasier saw this guy, Jonathan, at that assembly thing, who's, like, a fully grown man, by the way. Okay, so, like, Frasier's in high school. Jonathan is, like, an adult. He's in the military. And he's his mother's assistant. So his mother's the commander, and this guy, Jonathan, is, like, her assistant. So she's, like, at the festival with Jonathan. And so then they come up to, like, this big area where everybody's, like, dancing, and Sarah, Frasier's mom, is dancing with Jonathan. And he's like, okay, great, all right, Mom stole my mans, that's fine.
Mom stole my man.
So that's episode 3.
Wait, I thought you said that was episode 2.
No, it was episode 3.
That's
Episode
3.
2 was the Caitlyn episode.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Okay,
So,
wait. So take away from episode 3.
Yes. Give me a quiz. Maggie and Jenny are getting spicy. Caitlyn and Frasier are pals, and the rest of the friend group is mad at Caitlyn because she doesn't, like, hang out with them anymore. Sarah was dancing with Jonathan at the festival, and Frasier's like, oh, she stole my mans. Oh, yeah, Caitlyn breaks up with Sam in, like, episode 3 as well. No, he breaks up with her, technically, but she's like, yeah, that's fine. I didn't really like you anyway. So, Sam's brother...
You just forgot to mention that?
Yes, I did. So, Sam's brother, Craig, is in a relationship with this girl, Val, who's Italian. Her brother is Enrico, who has the little fling with Brittany. So, Craig and Val are, like, in a relationship, and Craig is leaving to go on this, like, military thing for, like, 2 years. Like, it's, like, the day before, he's leaving in the morning, like, to be sent, you know, with this team to go do this military shit, and he's, like, leaving. And he's like, yo, we should get married. And Val's like, yeah, okay. So then they have So then they have this little wedding, which somehow in between episode 3 and 4, the friend group, like, reconciled. So now, like, Caitlyn and Frasier are hanging out with Caitlyn's friends again. So, like, they all go to this wedding. Val and Craig get married. It's all cute as heck. So then they're like, oh, yo, we should have, like, an after party. And so they go to this Russian villa, this, like, abandoned Russian villa, and they, like, throw a big party. So basically, it's a lot of just people making out and getting drunk. But important things that happen in this episode. Sam confronts Frasier, so Caitlyn's ex-boyfriend confronts Frasier, is like, I don't like you. You're a loser. I don't like you.
And fuck you, bitch.
Basically. Danny, meanwhile, I didn't mention this before, but Danny is Muslim. So, like, his family isn't Muslim, but he's, like, converted to Islam. And so when you're Muslim, you, like, don't drink and stuff, but he, like, idolizes Craig. Craig is, like, his best friend. And Craig is like, yo, you should drink, it's a party. And Danny's like, okay. This is my least favorite episode because nothing really happens. So then the next day, Craig leaves and goes to his military thing.
Big sad.
Big sad.
Oh,
also, Val has this cousin who's, like, just in this one episode. But Val has this cousin named Soleil, and Soleil kisses Frasier, like, randomly. And so then, like, Frasier goes to Caitlin, and he's like, yo, she kissed me. And Caitlin's like, don't do that ever again. And it's, like, really weird. And that's...
They're not dating, though.
Exactly. Episode 5. Episode 5 is the best episode. So, lots of stuff happens in this episode. Updates. Updates. Maggie and Jenny are now having an affair. So, like, they're hooking up on the sidelines while their spouses are being shitty. Because, like, Richard is just, like, a big macho man, doesn't appreciate her, treats her like a traditional housewife. Sarah, meanwhile, just also sort of just, like, she never treats her as an equal. Like, she sort of, like, only wants her for, like, physical affection and, like, for validation. And also, like, doesn't treat her as, like, a proper mother for Frasier. So Maggie and Jenny are both feeling excluded from their spouses. So now they're having an affair. Sarah and... So Richard works under Sarah. He's still, like, a big, important military guy, but, like, Sarah's the commander. And he does not like Sarah because he's a conservative bitch, and he has a problem with a gay woman being in charge of him. So he's been, like, very hostile.
Oh, no,
yeah.
Poor thing, baby. Oh, no.
Oh, shit. I forgot to mention, at the end of the 3rd episode, basically,
what the fuck?
When Richard's out eating pizza with his homies, a big fight starts between the Italians and the American military people, and they, like, trash this restaurant. So, like, Sarah confronts him, and he's like, yo, you need to apologize to that guy, because, like, we have to conserve our good image, because we're the military, and you need to do that. And Richard just feels all threatened, because a woman is telling him what to do, because he's a little bitch.
He's a little bitch.
He's a little bitch, and we don't like him. I'm, like, looking at my thumbnail for my video to, like, see what screen caps I put that were, like, important things that happened in this episode.
We should have had Jordan help us.
Honestly. Frasier and Caitlin, they're hanging out. They're besties. Frasier loves this band called Blood Orange. He's obsessed with this band called Blood Orange, and they're coming to a concert in Bologna in December.
Blood Orange?
Yeah. So he's like, yo, we should go see them in concert in December. And she's like, yeah, okay. And now, on the other side of things, Brittany is now dating Sam. So Brittany is dating Caitlin's ex-boyfriend. And Caitlin's, like, really...
That's against the rules of feminism.
And Caitlin's, like, really turned off by it. And so she, like, talks to Brittany. And Brittany's like, yeah, I love him. I've always loved him. Blah, 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 blah. And Caitlin's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Caitlin, meanwhile, is sick of her hair. She can't deal with the hair anymore. She's feeling a lot of gender dysphoria. She's been wearing, like, fake mustaches and boys' clothes and whatever. And she's like, I want to cut all my hair off. So they go to Caitlin's house, and she gets her dad's razor, and they shave her head. And it's iconic. It's the best scene in the whole show. It's so good. We love a good trans character cuts their hair scene. It's fantastic. Caitlin Harper, Jordan said you can use any pronouns for Caitlin Harper, so that's why I'm saying her at sometimes. Caitlin and Frasier, they stroll up to the little cafe place that Harper was in before, where she met that girl that she was flirting with. So she meets up with the girl again, and Frasier, like a good wingman, sort of dips and is like, okay, I'm gonna let you go hang out with your girl. We told our parents we're at the movies. So Frasier goes to the movies by himself. Goes to see the scary movie, and who is there but Jonathan, the military guy that he has a crush on, is also there by himself at the movie theater. Oh, so Jonathan sees him, and he's like, yo, Frasier, come sit with me. And so they sit and watch the movie together. And then after the movie, they're, like, walking around and chatting, and they're getting along really well. They're having good bands. Frasier is absolutely smitten with this boy. He's a man. He's a grown-ass man. Frasier's out of line. But he's like, oh, my God. Oh, my God, he's so cute. This is still episode 5. So Caitlin is, like, making out with this Julia girl. She's having a good time. This girl likes her, whatever. And then she's like, yo, I know you're a girl. And Caitlin, like, freaks out and, like, runs away and is, like, very sad because she's like, he is like, no, I'm not a girl. So then Caitlin's all sad. And Caitlin tries to call Frasier, but Frasier's not answering because Frasier's at the movies with Jonathan. So then Caitlin goes home. Her dad found the hair in the bathroom. So, like, they cut off all her hair. And so he, like, found it. And so she comes home, and he's like, what the fuck did you do to your hair? and he's big mad, and Caitlin starts crying, and the episode's over. Episode 6. Ooh, shenanigans start to ensue. So Frasier had a lovely time with Jonathan, and he's like in his room, and he's listening to this voicemail that Jonathan sent him, where Jonathan's like, yo, we should hang out tomorrow. I'll pick you up at 8. I don't know. So he's all like super fucking excited about this. And then Jonathan strolls by to pick him up, and Maggie and Sarah are like chilling in the kitchen. Because like I said, Jonathan is Sarah's assistant. Frasier and Jonathan are like pals now, so he like gifted him this book, and he like brought it to like drop off at his mom's office for Jonathan. And so Sarah is all like, oh my god, good, you need a male influence in your life, like a dad or a brother. You should totally keep hanging out with Jonathan. And so then Maggie is like, yeah, I don't really feel comfortable with our 15-year-old child hanging out with a 30-year-old man. I don't think that's a good idea. And Sarah's like, no, it's fine. He's like a brother or a dad. It's totally fine. Frasier is with Jonathan, and Jonathan brings him to
Maggie making sense.
Honestly, Maggie's my fucking queen. I love her. So they're at this field, they're sheep, it's whatever, and like they're chatting, and Frasier's like, weird place for a first date, don't you think? Like an idiot, and Jonathan's like, yeah, okay. And then later they go to this restaurant, and they're chilling. Frasier's all smitten. He's like, oh my god, you're so cute. We're at a restaurant together. And then, shocker, a girl walks in, and Jonathan's like, Martha! Frasier, this is my friend Martha! And Frasier's like,
friend?
Yeah, like, Frasier, you're 15. Sit down. So now they're here with his friend Martha. They get all drunk, drinking wine, and then they're singing karaoke. They're singing Backstreet Boys.
Tell me why.
Yeah, so they're singing that song. Then Jonathan drives him home. Frasier's like, this is the best day of my life. I had the best time. Blah, 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 blah. And he like kisses him on the cheek and like leaves. And he's like, oh my god. Because he's kidding himself. It's pretty.
Wait. Because he's kidding himself.
Yes, he's a fool. So that's like Frasier's whole thing. Meanwhile, Caitlin is getting close with Sarah. So Caitlin and Frasier's mom are like hitting it off because Sarah recognizes a young queer kid from a mile away. And Sarah is like, I need to help this kid out. Because your dad's terrible. So Sarah really likes Caitlin. Frasier does not like this at all. He is very mad at his mother for liking... Frasier's insane. So he's like so angry at his mother for liking Caitlin. Whatever. And so Sarah starts to like train Caitlin in like they go to the shooting range, and she like helps Caitlin learn how to shoot and stuff, and they get along really great. And Caitlin's like, oh my god, you're so great. And Richard is like, I don't like this. I don't like strong gay woman having influence on my child. I don't like this at all.
Oh, wait until he finds out what his daughter's been doing.
Exactly, get fucked. And so then Sarah and Caitlin have this conversation, and so she's like, oh, like, you want to be a soldier? And Caitlin's like, yeah, maybe. And Sarah's like, does your dad know that when you say soldier, you mean male soldier? And it's like, oh, shit! And so then she gives her this pamphlet for, like, gender therapy stuff, and she's like, you should go and chat with someone.
Oh, Sarah hit her with the I know what you are, bitch.
Exactly. Episode 7, shit hits the fan. At the end of episode 6, leading into episode 7, Sarah is watching the news, watching Trump be an idiot on TV. She gets a phone call, and it's like she looks very distressed, and that's the end of the episode. So we find out at the beginning of episode 7 that the mission that Craig was on, there was a bombing, and Craig died.
No!
So...
Oh, yeah.
There.
I liked him.
He was a sweetie. we love to see.
He had a wedding and everything.
Yes, so he got married to this girl and then died. So he and like two other guys died on this mission. And so they go and like inspect everything, and then Sarah gets confronted by this military guy, and he doesn't confront her till later. But this is important now. Where he's like, basically, Sarah sent them on this mission early. They were supposed to have like 90 more days of training, and she was like, no, it's okay, they're ready, they can go on it. So instead of sending like a team that was like fully trained, she sent these guys because she thought they were better equipped. And then Craig ended up dying. And so did the other two guys, and they were like young. They were like young guys, like early 20s. So now like the rest of the military unit is like really upset with her because they're like, that wasn't your call to send them, and now they're dead. So Caitlin's vibing at school. Caitlin keeps getting texts, or like she keeps missing calls from Sam, because Sam was Craig's brother. So Sam keeps calling her. Caitlin has no idea what's going on. She just keeps ignoring his calls. And she's like, yeah, Sam keeps calling me. These military guys come into Frasier and Caitlin's classroom, and they're talking to the teacher, and they're like, we have to go to this assembly. So the whole school goes to this assembly, and the principal guy is like, yeah, 3 of our men died, including the brother of one of your classmates. And Caitlin's like, wait a minute. And Brittany runs into the room. She's like sobbing. She's looking at Caitlin. Caitlin's looking at her. And then she looks at Danny, who was Craig's best friend. Danny is also like not having a good time. And she puts 2 and 2 together. And she's like, oh shit, Craig died. And she starts crying. And it's just a whole thing. And everyone's crying. And it's a mess.
Everyone's just crying. Everyone needs a Snickers.
For real. So then the crew, they're hanging out outside. So like Brittany and Caitlin and Danny, they're all, and Sam, they're all in their fields just being sad. And they have this little memorial service thing, which Maggie and Jenny are like setting up for. They're like setting up for the memorial service, and Jenny's really sad. She's like, oh, like that was Danny's best friend, and like he was so nice, blah blah blah. And like Maggie comes over to like pat her hand affectionately, and Jenny's like, no. And it's like, and basically she's like, this is bad. We shouldn't have had this affair. This was a mistake. Everything's wrong. And they get in a little fight and like break up basically. So then everyone's at this memorial service now. And they're all being big sad boy hours.
Alina.
Yeah.
Alina. Someone died, and you're just saying everyone is big sad boy hours. Someone died. Have a little bit more respect, you heathen.
Sorry, Craig.
He's dead. He died. Sweet little boy. He is dead. Put the X marks on his eyeballs and put him in the coffin. He is dead. And you are saying, oh, the sweet little boys there crying. Oh, anyway.
Yeah, so like earlier in the day, after the assembly, they had this little like therapy session in each of their classrooms where they could talk about their feelings. And Frasier goes on this whole tangent about how like a lot of times like soldiers' bodies are like, they can't find all the pieces of their bodies when they're bombed, so they like put them in bags with rocks so it like weighs them down. And it's like really out of line, like, you know, insensitive thing to say. So like Caitlin and Brittany are like crying again. So they're like eating lunch, and Caitlin's it's just Caitlin and Frasier, and she's like, why did you say that? And he's like, he was a soldier, like he signed up to like die. Which, like, he's right, but it's not the time. So Caitlin slaps him and leaves.
Yeah, he deserves to be slapped. That was uncalled for.
Right. So then later they're at this memorial service, and they're all eating food, and Richard gets really angry, and he just starts, like, picking fights with people, because he found out about Sarah, like, sending them, and he's, you know, he doesn't like Sarah anyway, so now he's, like, really angry, he's picking fights, he's causing a scene, and Jenny is like, you need to calm the fuck down. The friend group leaves, and Frasier and Caitlin follow after them, and they go to, like, hang out with them, and then Sam and Danny are like, no, Frasier can't come. And Caitlin's like, why? And they're like, because his mom got Craig killed. And so, fuck you, Frasier. And Frasier's like, it's okay, Caitlin. Just, like, go hang out with them. I'll catch up with you later. True friend. Good friend. And so Caitlin's like, okay. And so she goes with the pals. Frasier goes off on his own. Frasier's big sad, but good friend. So then the homies, the friend group, they go back to the Russian villa where they have a little party for Craig's wedding in episode 4, and they have their own little memorial for him, and everyone's all sad, and they're all, like, getting drunk and crying and partying and whatever, and randomly Sam, Caitlin's ex-boyfriend, who is now dating Brittany, pulls Caitlin aside into, like, one of the bedrooms, and he, like, makes a move on her, and, like, starts kissing her, and Caitlin's like, what the fuck? And Brittany walks in, and she's like, what the fuck? And so then she's all angry, and everyone else is all angry because of Craig, and so they start breaking shit, and they throw a piano through the wall, because it's, like, a glass wall.
Wait. That went from 0 to 100 really quick. They're all sad, they're breaking shit, and then they throw a piano.
Yes, because it's like a glass wall, so they push this giant piano through the wall. And then Val, who, you know, was Craig's wife, it's very sad. She, meanwhile, has had a little thing with Danny. So I think, like, this was never really clear, but I think, like, they were having an affair, like, while Craig was gone, like, her and Danny, because they were, like, kissing. And so then she's, like, talking to Danny, and she's, like, all sad. She's like, I'm, like, 19 years old, and I'm a widow. Like, what the fuck do I do now? And they're all sad. Everyone's crying. Danny gets, like, super duper drunk, even though he's Muslim, because, like, Craig is gone now, and he doesn't know, he can't tell him what to do anymore, and he's very sad about it.
A piano went out the window. A widow's kissing a teenager.
No, they're the same age, but, like, because she was, like...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was, like, 19, and Craig was, like, 20-something, and Danny's also, like, 18 or 19.
Piano went through the window. Everyone's drunk. There's crying. There's puppies raining from the ceiling.
Yes.
The freaking water turned to blood. And the whole 10 Commandments is going down. There's frogs coming from the ceiling.
Frasier now is like, what do? I have nothing to do. I'm gonna go to Jonathan's apartment.
No!
So, homie strolls up to Jonathan's apartment, knocks on his door. Jonathan comes to the door wearing nothing but his underwear. He's like, hi, Frasier! What you doing? Martha is also there, also just wearing, like, undergarments. And she's like, yo, Frasier! Like, come on in. And so
that must have been something to see for Frasier.
Yeah, so they, like, give him a drink. And then they're, like, dancing. Like, Martha's, like, dancing. And she's like, Frasier, come dance with me. And so she starts, like, taking off his clothes. And he's like, oh, okay. And then, like, Jonathan joins in. And, like, basically the three of them are, like, dancing without their clothes or whatever. They're, like, wearing pants, but, like, whatever. And then Frasier...
Was this the naked scene?
This is the scene from the trailer. Yes, this is the scene from the trailer. So, that happens. And then Frasier all of a sudden, like, freaks out. He, like, pulls away and, like, grabs his clothes and runs out. And it's raining outside, so he's, like, on the street. And he's just, like, sobbing in the rain. And, like, Emmy for Jack Dylan Grazer, period. Incredible scene. So, we don't know exactly what happened there. But, very sad, runs out. So he gets back home, it's at nighttime, and he gets a call from Caitlin, and Caitlin's like, you and your moms need to come get us because Danny, like, is, like, super sick from, like, drinking, and we need your help. So he and his moms, like, stroll up, they get the homies, they bring them back home. So Richard is also, like, drunk from the party, and so, like, Jenny has to, like, bring, you know, when he, like, made a scene at the memorial, so, like, she had to bring him home, and then, like, they bring Danny home, and she and Maggie have this, like, weird tension because they broke up. Sarah and Maggie make up because Sarah is like, how long has that affair been going on? She, like, figures it out. And Maggie's like, it's fine, it's over, like, you don't have to worry about it, like, it's fine. And they're like, okay. So, and then they have a chat, and she's like, and Maggie's like, I think Richard is a problem. Like, he made a big scene today. I think you need to, you know, I think, like, you need to get rid of him. And it's like, ooh.
Period.
And then, final episode 8. And then now, in episode 8, we find out that Sarah fired him. So now, Caitlin's family is moving. So they're, like, packing up the house. They're, like, going back to Chicago or whatever. So Caitlin, like, picks up some pizzas, brings them home, they're eating pizza, and Brittany is, like, helping her pack. So they're, like, in her room, they're packing up stuff, and then basically what ends up happening is that Brittany and Caitlin end up making out. And then Brittany's all like, I've always loved you, Caitlin. And Caitlin's like, cool. She's like, okay, bye. Have fun in Chicago. Caitlin's like, okay, bye. And, like, that's it.
Wait.
Caitlin just makes out with everyone.
Wait a minute. Wait, do Caitlin and Frasier end up kissing or no?
We'll get there.
Oh my god!
So Caitlin gets a message, like a notification on her phone, that today is the Blood Orange concert. That concert that Frasier was like, yo, we need to go to that. And she's like, I'm literally going on a plane tomorrow. But yeah, let's go to the concert. So Caitlin meets Frasier outside, and so they go to the concert. They catch a train, and Caitlin puts on, like, her masculine clothes, and she puts on, like, a binder and, like, fake facial hair, and is, like, all ready to, like, hit on the town as a boy. Iconic.
Ooh.
So, like, they get on this train. They only had enough money for one train, and they had to, like, do a connecting train, so they have to sneak on to the other one, and then they get, like, chased down. They like get off like 2 cities early because like the conductor finds out that they didn't pay for their tickets and gets chased down. So they're walking around. Caitlin keeps getting calls from her dad, and she's ignoring them because obviously she's supposed to be on a plane the next morning, and they have no idea where she is, and she's like, don't want to deal with that. And then, okay, so she, like, I don't remember exactly how this conversation started, but Caitlin brings up Mark again, where she was like, was the guy from New York, and she was like, was Mark your boyfriend? And he's like, no. And then we get the big twist. He's like, Mark isn't real. So Mark was, like, this guy that he made up. Well, like, it was this guy that went to his school, but he, like, never talked to him. He just, like, fantasized about, like, meeting him and, like, being best friends. So this whole time when he was, like, sending him messages, he was just, like, sending them to nobody. Like, he was, like, completely fabricated in his head. Because he's
my god,
yeah,
what?
Because he's, like, a big, sad, lonely boy. So then Caitlin's like, oh, shit. That's wild. And then Frasier's talking about is like how much he hates his mom, and he like resents his mom a lot because like he had no male influence in his life. Like he like Sarah never let Frasier meet his dad, and like he'd only met his grandfather like a couple times, and so he said that he would like steal his mom's credit card, and that's how he would buy all these expensive clothes and stuff, and she like wouldn't say anything about it. They like he resented her, and she knew that, and so she was like, yeah, whatever. So they have this little heart-to-heart. It's real cute. And then they're like, oh, shit, the concert. So then they're, like, running along the highway. And they come to this gas station with this, like, trio. And they are like, hey, how far is Bologna? And they're like, you're not going to make it if you're walking, but you can catch a ride with us. So they go into this car with these homies. And there's this boy in the backseat, this, like, teenage boy. And he and Frasier hit it off. They, like the same music. They're talking about clothes. They're like, oh, my God. Bestie. And Caitlin is all like, what the fuck? And she's all like really jealous. She's like, you're not like talking to me. You're just like hitting it off with this boy. So they get to the concert, and Frasier like goes off with this boy whose name is Luca, and like completely like abandons Caitlin, like loses track of Caitlin. So now Caitlin is like by herself at this concert, which is like all the good friend points that Frasier got in the past are all redacted because of this episode, because he's such a shitty friend in this episode, because Caitlin is literally moving, like, tomorrow, and he doesn't pay attention to her in this episode. So,
what the hell?
Yeah, so then they're at this concert, Luca and Frasier get to the front, they're jamming at the concert, Caitlin now feels, like, really awkward, because she's all by herself, and so she, like, goes over to the bar, and there's this cute bartender there, and she's like, yo, can I have a beer? And the bartender's like, yeah. She's like, I only have dollars. She's like, sorry, I only take euros, but it's good. Like, it's on me. You've got it. And Caitlin's like, okay, cool. So then they're vibing, concert's happening, yada, yada, yada. And then, like, the bartender keeps, like, giving eyes to Caitlin Harper, and she's like, so are you gonna ask me what time I get off? And Caitlin's like, I mean, sure. And so then the bartender gets her a backstage pass, and she's like, yo, come with me. It's like during like it's like in the middle of like the concert and the encore. She's like, hey, come with me, like come say hi to the band. So they go back, and Caitlin gets to meet the band.
Oh my god.
And up until this point, there's been this song throughout the series called Time Will Tell by this band. It's a real band. And it's like, so it's played like in multiple episodes. Caitlin loves this song called Time Will Tell. So does Frasier. It's like their song, whatever. So they go back and meet the band, and the band is like, yo, Caitlin, what's your favorite song? And she's like, Time Will Tell. And they're like, okay. And so they go perform it for the encore for her. And it's iconic. And so then they're singing that song, and Frasier is like, oh my God, like looking for Caitlin. He's like, oh my God, this is our song. But he can't find her because he ditched that bitch like a fool. So now Caitlin is like chilling backstage with this bartender, and this bartender is like, you're really cute. You're trans, right? And Harper's like, I don't know, maybe. And the bartender's like, that's cool. And then starts like making out with Caitlin, and then Caitlin's like, no, thank you, and sort of like freaks out and leaves as well. Sort of like the same thing that happened with Frasier and Jonathan in the previous episode. Caitlin's all frazzled. Caitlin left the concert. It's the end of the concert, and she's like texting Frasier and is like, I need to go. We need to catch the train. I want to leave, blah, 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 blah. Frasier's like, give me a second. I'll be right there. Caitlin's like, no, I need to leave right now. So Caitlin leaves to like go catch the train. Frasier gets out of the concert with Luca. Caitlin's not there. Caitlin left. He's like, okay, what the fuck? So he and Luca go like strolling around Italy, drinking beers and vibing and chatting. And then they're like chilling, they're like smiling and whatever, and then they kiss. And it's like, oh my God. So at this point, the sun is coming up. It's like the next morning. It's like been all night. This concert was really late. And Luca's like, yo, you want to go up to this thing and see this really pretty view? And Frasier's like, shit, no, I can't. Like, I gotta go. And so he like gives him a hug, and he like leaves. And he like runs all the way to the train station. He's like frantically like, oh my God, like where is the train to this place? And he finds Caitlin. And then he gets Caitlin to, like, come off the train with him, and then they go back to, like, the downtown Italy place. And so they go up on this, like, building, like, where, like, the really nice view was, and then they kiss. So that, yeah, okay, because so then they kiss, and it's, like, whatever, and then that's the end of the show. Like, that's literally it. So, like, which I personally don't like, because I feel like they were, like, very clearly friends, like, up to this point. And I also feel like if they were gonna choose that ending, they should have had Frasier be less of a jerk in that episode, because, like, he literally didn't spend any time with Caitlin. Like, he abandoned Caitlin at the concert for the other guy. So, like, it personally makes no sense to me, but to each their own. And that's the show. So we don't know what happened to any of the other characters. We don't know if Caitlin is, like, if they're gonna move, or what's going on. So it's kind of like an unsatisfying ending, and I'm not super happy about it. But we might get a season 2. We are who we are.
I love it, except for the ending. What is the ending?
I just don't like it. It's just so unsatisfying. Like, nothing gets resolved, and I feel like it comes out of nowhere. So that's the show. You should watch it.
We should watch it together.
Yes, we'll watch it when I get back. Do you have any final thoughts? How would you grade my summary?
9 out of 10.
Really? Thank you. That's pretty good. I'll take it. Do you want to watch the show more after hearing my summary?
Yes.
That's good. If y'all want us to, we could do a video watching the whole show like we did with I Am Not Okay With This. Let us know.
I would like to.
Let us know. We'll probably do it anyway. But thank you for watching this video. You can follow Chloe here on Instagram and TikTok. You can follow me at edward.spaghedward on Instagram and TikTok. Links in the description for my second channel. We played Among Us on that. That was a fun time. Also links to my website, my merch, and all that stuff. This has been a really great dinner.
Thanks for coming over.
Oh my God.